Well, hello, my friends. How are y'all? Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you guys are having a wonderful night. And if you guys are going to catch this on the replay, while you're thinking of it, please hit that thumbs up, subscribe to our channel. If you like what we do, feel free to support our channel by going to PayPal. Most importantly, though, is to hang in there and see what's going on. Here's our good friend Nisha. Nisha, how are you tonight? I'm still working on getting everything adjusted just beautifully for all you wonderful people. I'm doing pretty good. Just trying to get the camera adjusted here. I'm not liking the way, how contrary it's being. Maybe I'll have to do that. There we go. Put you guys way back over there. So you guys might be able to see what we're going to do tonight. So we got to thank you all for being here, Nisha. Thank you for the thumbs up. Put my one piece of candy back over here. Let me get this light out of y'all's face. Get that out of your face. So in and out. Early bedtime tonight. Yeah, I took an afternoon nap. So I was really tired. Lorelai goes to work about 4-ish. And for some reason, I was really tired today. I don't know if it's the weather. We had a bunch of running around to do. Uh-oh, I made a boo-boo. I made a mess, guys. But I was really tired. So I decided to lay on the couch and take a nap. So that's what I did today. Where am I going to put this? Let me put this on the floor. Oh, gosh knows. Nisha, it's going to probably take me until, I would think February, mid-February, to do this. No, it will take, one, I'm kind of slow, to be honest. And two, I'm kind of slow. And three, I'm kind of slow. And it's not an extremely difficult model to put together. Jara is here. Jara, how are you? Thank you for being here. But no, I'll do a little bit every day. I don't want to spend hours working on it every day. I just want to come in and when I kind of get energy and feel like it. I got a lot of other projects I'm doing too. So, no, it won't be finished anytime soon. But that's the fun of it. Hello, Jer. Everybody say hello to everybody if you would, please. I need to pull you guys up on the iPad so I can read the chat a little bit better. So give me a second for that. I got the phone position a little bit out of my purview, because I want you guys to be able to see what's going on. But yeah, so thank you all for being here. Thank you all for the thumbs up. Hello, everybody from Nisha. Thank you for doing that. So yeah, I'm working on some other projects. I'm working on doing a book review for Dr. Ken Berry and all of that good stuff. Jared says, I am Russia. I don't speak English. Hold on. Well, you type English very well. You may not speak it or understand it very well, but you type it very well. So thank you. We appreciate you wishing us a good live stream. We do. We're happy that you came in, whether you understand me 100% or not. So, but thank you. It's snowing. Oh, no, it's not snowing here right now. It is not. It warmed up a little bit today. We still have some we still have some snow on the ground from the last snow, but it's not snowing currently, no. So, but we do, I was watching the weather a little bit today, not a lot, just a little bit. And they're talking about the fact, you okay, Daisy? Oh, what a pretty dog. My dogs are so pretty. If you like dogs, give me a thumbs up. And if you didn't already do it, give us a thumbs up just because you like doggies. But no, we're supposed to get some cold weather again next week. So we'll see how that shakes out. But no, not snowing. So, but I got other projects to work on Nisha. You know, Lorelai does her stuff on the weekends a lot. Or she gets home and she's all fired up from work. She does live streams. So that's what I'm working on. We got, how many people we got? We got 10 people watching. We got a bunch of thumbs ups already. Thank you all for that. It's important for small YouTube channels like mine for you guys to like us. Oh, we're going to do some painting today, I think. I don't know if we'll get any gluing done today. Maybe a tiny bit. But we're going to do some painting. But just saying in general, I appreciate you guys. 4, 3, and 3. But I watched the weather a tiny bit today. Wood and leather. Huh, all right. So I did watch the weatherman today a little bit, checked it. And it seems like it's going to be getting really cold again next week for us. But if you're new to these live streams, I do a lot of live streams. I do a lot of outdoor stuff, indoor stuff, and just talking live streams. But this one, we just happen to be working on a pirate ship called the Jolly Roger. So the Jolly Roger makes reference to a pirate flag. It's really what that is. So, but my wife got me this model because she knows I get bored easily during the winter months because it's so cold and I hate being indoors. My wife bought me this model, hoping it will keep me a little busy, hoping that it will keep me off the streets. So she hopes it will keep me out of trouble, is what she says. So I've been working on that, and so here we go. So we're going to do a little park painting tonight, I think, is what we're going to wind up doing. I got to look at my parts. Yeah, got a lot of work to do, but if these lights get in your way, just let me know if they blind you or they look really weird, all right? The Iconic Duo. Iconic Duo, I know you're asking about people's sexuality, and what I'm going to tell you is we don't care who you sleep with. It's okay if you're gay. This channel doesn't discriminate. So if you're gay, that's your business, you know. If you're a Catholic, that's your business. You know, we don't care. We just don't discriminate, all right? So you are welcome here. Everybody's welcome of every walk, creed, color, country, nation, political beliefs. We don't care about any of that. We are a positive channel. So Iconic Duo, if that's your way of saying, hey, I'm gay and I want to know if it's okay for me to be here, yes, Iconic Duo, it's okay for you to be here if you're gay. We're not going to bash you because that's not what we're about. So, yes. Oh, crap. Wrong jar. Dang it. I'm always making a mess, guys. So, that's kind of what we're up to tonight. I think I'm set. You know, I got my trusted dog laying on the floor by me. Got to shake up my paint here. But we're going to work on a pirate ship. I got a lot of other projects I'm working on, but since I took about a 3-hour nap today, and I feel pretty good. I took a 3-hour nap. All right. So, but we got to paint. I should ask that first. Since I got it open, I got to do some brown painting, and I want to double check if there's anything. I want to double check this other piece to see whether it needs to be brown itself. So let me double check, because that way I can maybe paint pieces at a time, the same color. All right, so that's the top plate. 7. Okay, that's 7. So they're going to say this part goes on top of this part like that. Okay. So is that supposed to be number? Yeah. So, all right. So I got a couple big pieces I can paint the same color. So why don't we do that tonight? But it's supposed to get nice and toasty, chilly here again, everybody. I'm not the best painter in the world. I took art in high school, but I didn't do very good at it. So I just try to do my best for you guys. But we have a lot of projects. We're excited about this coming up here. A lot of nice projects coming up. But since it's cold and wintry out and it's dark, usually at this time of the year, you know, during spring and summer, I'm outside fishing, taking you guys fishing with me, but just too cold for that. I need some light. So, like I said, guys, if this thing bothers you, let me know. Very nice. So I'm painting the deck. This is one of the decks to the boat where the people would walk, you know. So right now I'm painting it. It's one of those parts that is really good to pre-paint. And what I want to do, and I'm trying, which I know I'm not good at, painting it, but I wanted to also not be a perfect paint job. And what I mean, because it's wood grain, I want some lighter spots here and there to come through so that it looks like maybe some of the wood is wore down from time to time. So that's part of my goal there. And it's a really good excuse for me to say, well, you know, the paint job's not that good because it wasn't supposed to be that good. But we'll get there. I've got to get some cannon, finish painting some cannons today. I hope I can get that done. So once you kind of get a lot of these parts done, things start coming together pretty quickly. But I want to try to get my skills back up. I need to, you know, become better at things. And how do you become better at things? My advice? Because, you know, this channel is all about giving advice, is you practice. And how do we practice? We practice by doing. So if you're not good at math, and if you want to be better at math, what do? You do math. That's the way it is. If you are not good at English, but you want to be, well, yes, you got that right. Practice. Practice makes perfect, my friends. So it is Tuesday night in America. I think I didn't say this earlier. It's 8:14 p.m. So this should the whole thing be brown? Yeah, I guess it is. It is right at 40 degrees where we're at currently for your weather update. I wish I had some kind of artistic skill set. It would be kind of nice, right? If I could, I would like to be a musician, but I'm not. I wish I could paint and draw and be an artistic like some people, but I've never been any good at that. I've never been any good at art stuff whatsoever. I didn't do so well in art class. All right, out and about, we appreciate you. I hope you get some rest. I know what it's like. I mean, yeah, I know. I was tired today. Like I told you, I slept on the couch after Lorelai went to work for probably 2 hours. I don't know, but I don't know why I was so tired. But one thing we've learned as we get older out and about, and I hope that you've gotten closer to your 1,000 subscribers, is man, when our body says it's time to rest, go rest. I'm a big believer in that. I know sometimes we can't always do what we want, our body wants us to do. But man, if you can, it's a good thing. I've been blessed in my life, in my career, that I was able to do that. Yeah, headed to bed, have a good 10 to 30, yes. I better give some more paint over here. It looks really sparse. Probably be easier if I got spray paint out or used an air sprayer, which I don't have. But it probably would be a better looking paint finish if I had one of those air sprayers for models, but I don't have one. So right now I'm just using a bigger brush, trying to make it look okay. I also realized one thing I don't have in all my little tool set is a good set of tweezers. I need some good tweezers. I'm gonna have to start looking for tweezers. This paintbrush is not doing too well for me tonight. Ah, subs. Oh, okay. What? Wow. So you made it. You made over 1,000. Congratulations, out and about. You got 1,030 bananas last night. You were 14 short. So that means today you grew by 34, right? Or 44. Dang. That's really good 1 day growth. You should be very proud of that. I've been lucky enough at times to have videos that did very well, and I've grown a couple hundred in a day. Is probably my best. And, you know, we're sitting around the 3,000 mark, 3,000, going on 4,000 right now. But I think the most I've ever grown in a day is a couple hundred. But life's not over yet. And hopefully you already have your watch hours. I know I need to work. I have my two other channels, Fishing with the PAC for Fishing Channel, and I have a cruising one too. And I know I need to work on those. I saw last night when I was working on them a tiny bit that apparently I need to get to 50 subscribers so that I could live stream on those two channels. And so I got to work on getting my 50 subscribers here soon. So that way I can turn around this spring and start going live streaming on my fishing channel in hopes to get it monetized. So that's one of my goals for this year, is to get the fishing channel monetized. And I know that's going to be a long, hard road because there's a lot of really good fishing channels. And mine's, you know, new at it. But since I do, I try to do, and it may take a lot longer than that because I can't work on my fishing channel every day. And I don't want to neglect this channel. So we'll see how that goes for this next year, but that's kind of my goal. At least I get it where I can do some live streaming on it. But then I'm torn. Because if I do my fishing channel when I go live streaming for fishing, then the new people won't be connecting to this channel. So I'm a little torn about that, but if I can just get it where I can live stream on it, then I'll be happy with that. All right, so we got our first painted coat of paint on this one. Let it dry, let it dry, let it dry, my friends. Let me get that out of the way. All right. Now I need to get that over there. Was this the right color from last night? Gotta always double check your cans or jars. Make sure you get the right colors. All right, I need to get some that's black. Got to get some paint thinner going on, everybody. It's important, I think, to do a good job cleaning your brushes. Got to clean deep down inside those bristles. Tomorrow's Wednesday for us. Oh, I need to get my StreamYard set up for Thursday night, so I'll get that done. All right. Stinky in here. There's my dog Lily. Lily, what's your problem? I need to adjust my heater real quick. Hang on, everybody. We're trying to retrain our thermostat. All right. These cannons are little cannon bases are really hard to paint. John is in the house. John, thank you for being here. How are you, my friend? I'm working on the boat again. You know, thought I would see how everybody's doing, take you on my adventure. All of that craziness out in California is not affecting you, is it, John? No, that's good, man. So what do you think about all the fires in California, John? I mean, do you have a thought or opinion? Do you think do you think it's kind of like a conspiracy, a government thing? Do you think it's a coming to the end of the world type thing? I know there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet about it, conspiracies, and kind of like the Maui fires. Joe, is that you in the house? Joe is in the house. Everybody say hello to Joe. How are you, Joe? I'm doing something a little different on some of these live streams, Joe. We're still doing kind of like an advice live streams, you know? But I figure in between people coming in and out, I would work on my model, Jolly Roger model, that my wife got me. And kill some time while talking to everybody, Joe. So, Big Don says, hello, Joe. Stab 3R1117. Hey, y'all. Love models? Do you? Great. You want to see which one I'm building? I'll show you real quick. I like models too. I haven't built one since I was a kid. Well, I mean, you know. I'm building this model. It came from Hobby Lobby. It was about 40 bucks, but my wife got it on clearance, so half price. So it's just a pirate ship. If you don't know, the Jolly Roger actually is not the name of the boat. It just refers to the flag, a pirate's flag. And so what I'm hoping, maybe somebody out there can help me with this. I want to create my own Jolly Roger. Maybe I'll take a picture of this. Should I take a picture of this and make it my thumbnail? I'll do that. I'll take a picture of the pirate boat and make it a thumbnail. So, but Stab says, loves and models. Everybody say hello to everybody. Please, thumbs up for us. Subscribe to the channel. So we already had one troll in, but he ran off and cried to his mama. So we're doing really good tonight without trolls. Good evening from Big Joe to John. Hobby Lobby is the best place for models around me since the Trade Center closed. Hobby Lobby is about the best place. If these lights get in your way, let me know. If I'm blinding you or, you guys just let me know if something weird is happening on the camera. I agree. We like Hobby Lobby because we don't have any independent hobby shops around here. So, and Walmart carries a selection, but not a very good selection. And what we have found is Hobby Lobby sells a lot. So my wife saw this one and thought, oh, she knows how bored I get during the winter. And she doesn't want me to be bored, sitting around doing nothing, wasting my life during the winter months. So we went ahead and got a model. And I'm going to try to do a really good job. I'm going to take my time and see if I can't make it look halfway like what the box says it's supposed to look like. I'm just staying in bed, drinking food-grade hydrogen peroxide, 35% peroxide mixed with distilled water. Holy shit, John. Let me ask you, John, do you feel any better since you've been drinking it? Because I went back and did a little studying on it, and then I started to remember, in my botany classes at the laboratory, I taught science, right? I taught industrial health and safety, all that. But I was also over the labs. One of my many duties to get paid money was I supervised the laboratories. And one thing I remember from our botany teachers, they would use it a lot of times to help root or start plants. And I got about 30 models, cars I've been done. There's a few I haven't done yet. Wow. I've always dreamt of having if I won the lottery, I would have a really large model train set. Maybe that's just me being a little kid, but boy, would I like to have a model train set. And I'm talking about one that takes up, maybe 2 or 3 4x8 plywood sheets of lumber with a controller and a big stand that you could walk around and do it, and some mountains and water. But John says, yeah, he's feeling better. Can you, John, can you say how you feeling better? I mean, do you think it's giving you more energy? If I'm being too nosy, let me know, John. I'm just curious. Well, these tank bases are supposed to be wood color. So I got them in wood color. And I think they're okay because I'm trying to give it a little bit of a weathered effect or not perfect effect, not like a brand new. So they are dark green in color. The plastic is, or dark brown. So putting light over dark is not the easiest thing to do for coverage. But and you're not going to see the cannons, but my vision is they're wood, right? The bases are made out of wood. But yet, you know, it's on a boat, so it's probably wet. All right. At first, I fast the same time. Seems to help me breathe better. More alert. Okay. That's good, John. So I just touched up my guns from last night. So we're going to let them just kind of hang out and finish drying. I just touched them up. So, well, John, if it works for you, I'm one of the, you know what? I'm one of these people that says you got to do whatever works for you. I need to clean these two brushes really well. Stab there has 30 model cars I've done. I was going to say I like trains, but what I really like building, and I haven't done one in years, I've done a couple things over my life. I built some semi-trucks. I'm a big fan of building semi-trucks. One, I find them to be a little bit easier because I understand the anatomy of a semi-truck, meaning I know what the pieces are, where they go, what the parts are. And two, they're usually a little bit bigger in size, which is easier for me to handle. First, this model is small, and the pieces are small. So this model is a little bit of a challenge, but I think I'm okay with it. But I like to build semis. The other thing I did years ago, and I really loved it, but they're too expensive right now for me to buy. And if I get some money this year, if we have a good financial year, what I want to buy and build, I want to build another wooden boat. So when I was in my early 30s, I was dating this girl, late 20s, early 30s, and she really liked sailboats, big sail, and so I built a wooden sailboat. It was probably $300 or $400 model. You had to sand it, glue each plank together. It was an old-fashioned sailboat. It took me probably, 4 months to build it. It had real fabric sails, everything. So that was really cool. I like to build another one of those. That's cool. Got John says. 30 come on. Joe says, we got light snow up here in the land of Mo. We don't have anything here, Joe. Have you been keeping up with the weather, Joe? Let me ask you that. Why do I always lose my ink pen? Oh, here it is. I was watching the weatherman a little bit today, Joe, and since you're kind of in my same region, four, three, so I need, can you guys remember these numbers? 2, 3, and 4. I'm making notes on my instructions for the color palette. I'm trying to, so that way I don't got to keep going back and forth. I simplify model airplanes in the park. Yeah, I watch some of those YouTube channels where these guys got these model airplanes that you could put my dog in. I mean, They're what, 6 feet, 7 feet long? And some are small, but some are really big. Have you guys seen those? Our good friend Rustin is in the house. Rustin, how are you? All right, now I gotta figure out how this in my brain. All right, you guys remember this for me. Can you help me out? John says hello to you. 3 is leather. Can everybody remember that? 3 equals leather. Can you remember that? There's going to be a test in a minute. You saw the one with the Air Force Wolf or 1? Yeah, I saw the, I mean, some of it's pretty cool. 4 equals wood. 2 is red. 2 is red. I think I only got one little piece that's red for this. Part 84 is going to be red. 3 was leather. Okay, good job, guys. I'm working on a pirate ship, a Jolly Roger kit out of Hobby Lobby. I'll show it to you. So I thought I would share my playtime with you guys. Hope you guys don't mind. But yeah, you know, what's really cool, I like model airplanes. I haven't built one since I was a little kid because I'm not really an airplane guy. But I will say that some of them are really cool. I guess I am partial to, what do we call those? The bi-wings like the Red Baron had, you know, when they had the fabric. When they had the fabric wings. I think those are really cool. But I'm kind of an old guy. I really like old boats. I love those wooden runabout boats. I like old cars. You know, I like the old stuff, I guess. Thinking of old guy or old boat, I'm looking for a particular part. So I can paint it while I'm here. How long will it take you to finish the boat? A couple of years from now? Yes, Joe. You know, my goal is this. Since it's cold and wintry and I hate winter, well, crap, how come I can't find that part? My goal is by the end of February. So I know it's mid-January. Oh, I got a doctor's appointment. Somebody remind me to go to the doctor. Shit, I need to look that up. But I'm hoping by the end of February. Because Joe, as you know, I may not be the smartest boy in the world. But I am trying to do a good job this time, Joe. I'm trying to take my time and work on it when I feel up to it. But I got a lot of other projects I'm working on, Joe. I'm going to do a whole series on Dr. Ken Berry. And then I'm working on my mobility scooter video. Lorelei, I need Lorelei's help with that really bad. And I got to find the right time, and I got to work on that. So All right. No, I didn't already clip those parts. How many pieces does it have? I don't know. Give me a second and I'll look at the box, Rustin. I don't think, I mean, I don't know. Let me look at the instructions and see if it says, all right? So, I'll show you. It's a pretty big booklet, dang it. So here's the booklet, you know. There's 60-something pages of notes, and this is what it is. It's the Jolly Roger. There's the model number. I'm not for sure if it says how many pieces. It's a 1 in 130th scale. It says important. You should read all of this before you start, but you know how I am. It has 8 different paint colors, but it really doesn't say how many pieces. I would estimate maybe 1,000. Yeah, maybe 1,000 pieces is what my estimate would be. I don't know if 1,000 pieces is very much, but it's not extremely. I don't know what the scale levels are, but I get the feeling that this is a moderate level. I think maybe it said on the box. This is a skill level number 2 model. It's for kids 12 and over. It's for kids 12 and over, so I barely qualify for that. I'm agitated because I can't find the freaking part I need. $1,000 is a lot if you're doing Legos. I suck with Legos. I take 30 minutes to just do a set with 80 Legos. Wow. I got a brother who is specially trained in Lego teaching. It's called coaching, and their business is using Legos to teach corporations how to be better. That's their business, one of their businesses. One of their businesses. Now, Legos are really expensive. So I don't think Legos are in my budget because they're too expensive. I'm trying to find these parts, guys, but I'm not having any luck. But I've seen people do stuff with Legos that would blow your mind. I have a short of a Razorback logo, a Lego Razorback, Arkansas Razorback, done up in Legos. I guess they got to glue the crap out of them. Cricket's in the house. Everybody say hello to Cricket. The ship was, now she caught it on sale. I think it was like $38, but it was probably half price. So it probably came out to be about $17, $18 is what the model was. My wife is really good about not spending money. So if she sees something on clearance or half price, You know, that's so I know it was. I know it was on clearance or Hobby Lobby sale. You know, look, Hobby Lobby has everything on sale, right? Everything's 50% off. Okay, I see your channel on my TV. Nice. So Rustin says, whoa. So yeah, it was about $17, $18. Regular almost 40, but I know it was on sale at one time, and Lorelai bought it. I don't know when she bought it. It's been a while. She had it put away. Man, why can't I find those pieces? Holy crap. They got to be about this big too. Pieces I'm looking for are probably a quarter of an inch big. And there's two of them. And part of what I wish, because you know, I'm all about education and learning and growing. What I wish is you could have a puzzle that would tell you about everything. And I know that would be very complicated, but what I mean is, like, wouldn't it be nice for a puzzle to say, hey, in the instructions, here's what this piece is called, and here's the purpose of it. This is called this, and this is the purpose of it. Here's the purpose of these, and these are what these are called. You know, the historical side of, hey, what are these things called, and what did they do, would fascinate the crap out of me. So I really wish they would put those in instructions, because I would really enjoy that. But no, I have not. What I've been doing is, I'm a little dizzy from all the paint and glue smells. Woo! If I weeble and wobble and fall down, tell Joe. Joe will save me. I have not started to assemble the ship yet. What I'm doing is getting some of the pieces painted and out of the way to dry, you know what I mean? So that here in a little bit, when I get ready to start putting things together, they're ready to go. So I'm doing some of that. And in between letting things dry and working on things, I'm also putting together small other little components that I can pre-assemble that's going to mount. But one thing I realize is I need some tweezers. I need to get some long tweezers that I can, you know, I need some long tweezers. I don't have any. Can anybody have any tweezers I can borrow? I don't need short ones. I need long ones, maybe 9-inch tweezers. But what I don't understand is why in the hell can I not find that part? And it's not like they're numbered and ordered. So each part has a number on it, but it's not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're just random. I will have a little call, Mama. There you go. I will have, that's right. Joe knows who to call if I pass out. Because I got the fan going. I know, good thing is you can't see it because it drive you crazy, but I got the fan going. Woo-wee! Because the paint and glue is strong in this house. Guys, I'm starting to get irritated because I need those two pieces because I want to paint them before I can move on. And it doesn't tell you whether it's brown or light tan. You know, this part. So my instructions doesn't tell me. They just say the part number is this. Go find it. Watch it be somewhere I don't even know. And I know they're little bitty parts. Rustin says, I have some tweezers. Great, I need them, man. I would like, I bought this really cool orange mat. I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday's live stream, Hey, HTN is in the house. Good evening, HTN. But I bought this orange silicone mat for $10 at Hobby Lobby, which I thought was maybe a waste of money. But the more I use it, the more I like it. It doesn't move and it's comfortable. I like this little orange thing I bought at Hobby Lobby for $10. I'll show it to you in a second a little bit better. Henry, how are you tonight, my friend? Cricket says, but what, Cricket? David's Island Life and Adventure. Hey, David, how are you, my friend? Long time no see. How have you been? Thank you for coming in. Thank you all for the thumbs up and likes. Appreciate that. And if you guys are new and haven't subscribed, please do. And remember, you can always support our channel through our PayPal or any other means you like. So, but thank you for coming in, David. How are you, man? What's going on in your world? I got my phone, just so you know, the phone is back here. And that's what I'm on. But I'm reading the chat a lot closer to me because I'm old and I can't see. So if I'm bending down and reading, that's what I'm doing. So I'm not trying to not, I took a break from YT. Well, that's a good thing. We do the same from time to time. It's great to see you. A long time no see. Yeah, it's a great guy, good channel, all that good stuff. But YT can be very stressful. You got to have one thing I think is interesting, David and Joe and John and everybody else listening and Rustin, is I see people all the time getting upset on the internet. I see them all the time getting mad because somebody said something about them. But what I want to encourage you guys all to do is realize those are just keyboard warriors and they're cowards. So don't take anything personal when they attack you. Who cares? They're not paying your bills. You can say anything bad about me you want. It doesn't really matter to me. Can I say hi, Yester? Yes, I can say hi to Yester. That's I got it not here. I need the magnifying glass to read the chat. That's MTM. That's my name. Cricket says my name is Yes. Oh, remember that. So hello to you, Yester. Thank you for being here. Joe, I'm rereading your comment here with magnifying glass. Now, this is pretty pathetic, right? And I can't do live streams on Lorelei's phone because I don't know what she's done, but her chat is itty bitty tiny whiny weeny weeny. But David, I'm glad you at least come back and watched us for a little bit. I appreciate that, David. And I know YouTube can be a bunch of garbage. And I see people all the time getting mad because this troll said that, this drunk guy said that. I get my critics. People don't like me. I lose subscribers and followers. People don't like what I say, and I tell them tough shit. So, Henry, I am building a pirate ship, my friend. How are you down in your part of the world? And for the last 20 minutes, Henry, I'm trying to find two very, very small parts for the pirate ship that I need to move on. And it's driving me crazy because I can't find these stinking little parts. And I don't have a bunch of loose random parts anywhere. So I know that's not it. And I don't think I clipped them already, and I know that. So it's just an old-fashioned pirate ship. Doing good, just dealing with rain mostly. Okay, all right. I was watching the weather, and I think it's going to get cold here, bitterly cold again next week here. So I'm not real happy about that, but nothing I can do about it. Yeah, dealing with the rain. Today it warmed up to in the 50s here, and a lot more of the snow melted. Dang it, why, I feel like starting to feel like I'm an idiot. Don't say anything, people. I know what you guys are all thinking. You're just now figuring it out, are you? That you're an idiot? Well, yes. And But yeah, I'm building a pirate ship. Lorelai knows I get bored during the winter and I get depressed really bad. And, you know, between all of my physical health issues and my psychological issues, she knows I get bored. And she thought this might help me this year to stay a little bit more active. I got a lot of stuff going on, Henry. I mean, we're excited. We got videos coming up and projects I'm working on for you guys. A lot going on. I'm pretty excited about some stuff we're doing this year. We're still going to do a bunch of live streams. I'm doing Thursday nights, by the way, at 7 on StreamYard. So if anybody wants to join us on Thursday nights at 7 through StreamYard or YouTube, you can. We're still doing some fundraising, which I'm happy about. That's going well. Joe had some light snow up where he is a little bit ago, so you must have been cold enough. Well, boy, I would tell you guys, I need some tweezers. I need 2 sets of tweezers, I figured out. I need a really thin point set about this long, maybe 2 of those, because it looks like I'm going to have to put some of these pieces together using chopsticks type of thing. It's going to be really fine, delicate work, if I can ever find the parts. Man, this is crazy. Here's the hull of the ship. Let me look over here again. Man, I'm telling you, they're just not there. They're just not there. Think I'm being ripped off. But all right, we'll move on to another issue. Maybe, you know, I used to teach my students, look, no snow down there. It's freezing right now. Joe is, freezing? Oh, I was going to ask you guys. Yeah, it's not freezing here yet, but next week it's supposed to be really cold, it looks like again. All right, so I'm building a pirate ship, right? So I need to come up, well, here's what I want to do. I want to come up with my own pirate flag. So I'm looking for suggestions about how to take my YouTube channel, you know, either our logo or image, the Philippine American thing, the couple thing, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to be creative and to take our YouTube channel and make a flag that represents, a pirate flag that represents our YouTube channel. So if anybody has any suggestions on that, let me know. I'm still wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Nice. Yeah, we have to wear a coat when we go out here in sweats is what I wear. Man. Hang on. I just got dizzy. Give me a second. Wow. Where was I? All right. So, damn. But if I pass out, Joe knows who's to call. If you guys see me pass out, make sure Joe knows. But what we had the other day was, you know, we actually had a guy here that worked on our furnace the other day because we have a brand new house, right? But we've had nothing but problems with this brand new house's heater. And I've spent a couple of $1,000 extra on fixing it. And I still had a tiny bit of problem. And I got a buddy of mine who's old, because, you know, old people know stuff, right? And he said, no, he's like, man, I've been using the same HVAC guy for years. And so I called him. I called this HVAC guy who's old, has his own private business. You can just messenger Joe. And since then, he came and said, "Oh yeah, yeah." He charged me $20. I gave him, 50, but he charged me 20. If I would have called Bud Anderson Heating and Air, it would have cost me $100 just to have them come out. So he charged me $20. I gave him 50. But since then, he adjusted the dampers in this house because I had them put dampers in because the system was not balanced. So being an old HVAC guy myself, or indoor air quality expert, I had him put dampers in and some other things because I thought the system was underprepared for this type of house. It was underwhelmed or whatever you want to call it. See, I got to do some shaping. But since he was here, he's done such of a good job. Man, our house is warm and toasty now. It's so much. He balanced it so well compared to that freaking Bud Anderson or anybody else that man, we burn up in here at times. So we got to keep the heater a little bit lower. And hence, that's why I'm wearing more t-shirts now, because he's made our house better by adjusting things. The other companies that had come out and worked here, and I had 3 of them out here since buying this house, some of it was under warranty work from the builder because I made him fix shit that he didn't do right. But others are not. See, that is that way. So it's been a lot warmer in my house as of late because he balanced things better. There we go. I'm liking that shape a little bit better. Where's my X-Acto knife? But yeah, we're excited this year. We got a lot going on. I need to clip a little bit more of that. I don't like the way that is. Also, if I cut my finger off and start bleeding everywhere, don't laugh at me. Okay. All right. But I'm excited. I'm reading Dr. Ken Berry's book right now, and I'm going to be doing a bunch of videos on his book. I'm going to do that. We got the scooter videos coming out. I'm going to try to do a bunch more shorts. I believe this part needs a seat in there. I think I can get it to seat in there with a little bit of shaping. So I got some really fine sandpaper that's really good for taking the burrs off and shaping the parts. All right. Now I got to remember. I just got tape just tape it back on if you cut your finger off. Yeah, well, I got model glue. You think this would work? I got glue. Plus, Dave, I do not have your address to send the cops. Oh. All right, well, maybe Henry can do it. Joe, I'm disappointed in you. Man, I thought I could count on you to save my life, Joe. So, that's supposed to be wood color. That's supposed to be, that doesn't make any damn sense. That's supposed to be leather color, but that's supposed to be wood color. So 82 is supposed to be leather, but it looks like wood. 83 is supposed to be wood color. '82, which is this, is supposed to be red. And 85, the part I can't find, needs to be leather. So how is that? That doesn't make sense. Well, I've given you our information many times, Joe. You just don't remember it because you're starting to get up there in age, Joe. But I think I've given you our info. I know I've mailed you things. James Robinson has our address out in California. Henry has it. So Big John has it. Ronald has it. Well, I don't like that. I don't like what they're saying. I don't want to, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying not to half-ass things. So this is 4. Hang on. I need to get a magic marker. No, stay, Poo-Poo. Well, I don't have a permanent marker. I was needing a permanent marker, but I don't have one. Maybe, Joe. I don't know. I don't know. Whew. I'm going to be doing a whole thing on my pacemaker this year, guys. Maybe I can do it that way. I got to find a magic marker for tomorrow. I'm trying to put a code on my paint jars so I know what they are. So I don't have to keep getting the magnifying glass out and trying to figure out what in the hell color this is. Trying to come up with a cheat code. So that's what, where did my leather go? Are you guys moving my stuff around? .30 and got 33 degrees tonight. Wow. Model building was never my hobby, so good luck with it. Well, I appreciate that. What did I do with it? That's red, which I'm supposed to use when I find that part. We appreciate that, Henry. That's gold. That's black. My wife ordered me to get some Jollibee. Nice. I eat Jollibee. I like Jollibee chicken. We miss the food from the Philippines. I miss Chowking. So this is wood. So John, did you get a Chicken Joy? Still don't get why anybody likes Jollibee so much. Well, Henry, it's kind of a cultural thing, as you know. It's kind of like when we travel internationally ourselves, and I mean, do I think they're better than KFC personally? No, I like KFC's chicken better. But I don't think their chicken is bad. So this is sage, sand brown. I think it's more of a cultural thing. My wife would prefer Jollibee any day over KFC. She doesn't like KFC. But when we're in the Philippines, I try to eat the Philippine food. Brass. So I think it's more of that. I think it's more of a culture thing. You know, a comfort food from your home. It's like one thing I really missed when I was living in the Philippines, for the short time we were there, was a sandwich. I really was missing sandwiches. I couldn't find a good sandwich anywhere. I ordered Jollibee. Still don't know why I like Jollibee, why anybody likes it. Anyway, Bai's father is in the hospital. Well, that's sad. Hopefully a speedy recovery to him. Big John says a 6-piece chicken joy. My wife likes it. I don't mind the chicken. I don't like the biscotti, but I do, you know, what I really like from Jollibee is the chicken, not the chicken, the mango pie and the mango pie and the coconut pie. So the chicken is better in my opinion. Yeah, the chicken's good. I don't really like the pasta or the noodles. Well, where in the hell did I do? I'm missing a color, a paint color. One of you guys come in here and steal one of my paint colors when I wasn't looking? How can I be missing a paint color? I'm the only person in the house. I'm the only person right here. How can I misplace something in a matter of 2 square feet by 2 square feet? Can anybody tell me that? I think the chicken's good. I was going to say, what was I going to say? Shit. I think I'm getting dizzy again. Pass out on you guys. Popeyes is not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. I don't personally care for it. I don't think it's that bad. If I had a choice between KFC and Popeyes, I would go with KFC's. So, what did I say? Oh, I remember. Sorry. I got distracted because I lost the pink color. And I'm the only damn person in the house. Hang on, guys. I gotta move you around a tiny bit. Let me get this back out of the way. Oh, all right. So I make notes. So I couldn't find leather color, so I went and Googled it and substituted sand for it, but I couldn't remember that. So now I know that what I'm looking for. I'm looking for number 1118. I like the beefsteak. I know that sounds crazy, but I gotta admit, I kind of became a fan of the beefsteak. So I kind of miss that old beefsteak in the Philippines. I know it's just kind of like, where in the hell did that go? 1 tube and 2 mango pies. Oh, 1 ubi, yes. I like the buto pie, the coconut pie too. I know, Henry, right? It's always the last place I look. But how could it be anywhere? I mean, I'm only right here. I tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fire I found it. It was in the last place I looked. So let's see if I can write on here what this is supposed to also be. I'm gonna put a big L, or what number is leather supposed to be? You guys remember? But I gotta admit, I miss the beefsteak. I know it's just like a cheap old-fashioned Salisbury steak that you would get in a TV dinner when we were kids, you know? But, you know, I kind of miss those. What I really miss from the Philippines are the, there we go. Are the empanadas that we would get from, like, not Jollibee, but the other one. See, every time, that's right. The one that we, Chowking had empanadas. I miss those empanadas. I really enjoyed those empanadas. So I kind of miss those. All right, so I got 2 pieces that I got to be painted leather. Let me make sure I get this sit in here pretty easily. I need to do some shaping real quick, guys. Give me a second. But what I really wish, I know like Sanders and Claude and some of the other guys who live close to, and James, who's sending me some goodies from Seafood City, thank God. James Robinson is a great guy, man, I'm telling you. He's been my buddy a long time, and we worked out the other day. He's sending me some more stuff from Seafood City for Lorelei, and I'm very happy about that. That's good. Laying in bed, watching the men do all the work. Watching me do all the work. So I don't think it sits on top. So, but I wish we lived close to Seafood City. Well, John, I'm happy to be the one doing all the work. And since I was going to do it anyway, you might as well sit back and watch and see if I screw things up in the end, right? I feel like a happy wood tick ready to pop. Oh my God, John. So where do I need to come down? Okay, I see it. So I miss Seafood City. I wish I lived closer to Seafood City, but I don't. And I'm not driving 9 hours to get to one. We have to go 5 hours to get to Jollibee. And maybe this spring we're going to make it to Texas anyway, so we'll probably go. We've been invited to some different events down in Texas this year, so we may wind up. Going to Dallas. I live 100 miles to LA. Seafood City, 100 miles away. Well, now, John, we would make that trip. We would make that trip. If we were only 100 miles away, we would make it a couple times a month. Because look, we drive 2 hours just to go have lunch sometimes in a different city and hang out. So we don't have a problem with that. We would do that. I mean, we go up to Springfield, Missouri. We go to Tulsa. Fort Smith. We go different places. And that's one thing we kind of like about living down in southern Alabama or the Gulf Coast is there's a lot of different places within 2 hours, if we do it right, that we can get to. So we're used to driving 2 hours. And then we'll go spend 5 or 6 hours and then drive home. So I don't have a problem with that, whether it's to go fishing or to go shopping. But we would go to Seafood City. We live that close, probably, maybe at least once a month. Because shipping is too much. I need some tweezers. I need to get some tweezers. Anybody got tweezers I can borrow? But because it would make Lorelai happy. Lorelai really likes the Skyflake crackers. She likes the buttered flavor, and we can't get those around here. So James out in California has been nice enough to ship us some when we ask him to, and all of that good stuff from Seafood City because they carry them usually. But that's her favorite go-to cracker. I did find where I can order them online, so I might have to break down and order her a case of those crackers because you think, oh wow, a case of crackers, that's a lot. Alexandria's in the house. Everybody say hello to our friend Alexandria. How are you? Good evening, young lady. How's the boat going? It's going pretty good. I'm just dizzy. I'm working on painting some pieces, and I'm working on fitting them together, is what I'm doing. And but it's going pretty good. We got some pieces. I was trying to find two particular pieces earlier, Alexandria, and I couldn't find. There we go. See, that's how you do it. That's how it fits. See, now I can paint it. I need some tweezers. I need somebody to loan me some tweezers. There we go. All right. Get that up out of the way. Whew. I think all the glue sniffing I've been doing and the paint huffing I've been doing is making me a tad bit dizzy. So that's leather color, which is 3. Those are supposed to be leather color, but I can't find those. That's supposed to be 2, which is red, right? And this is 4. Wish I could find those other 2 damn pieces I need, everybody. Yes, it's probably what's making you dizzy. Oh, I know. Well, and sadly, Alexandria, I get dizzy really easy. Between my heart condition, my lung condition, you know, some of us old people get dizzy easy. And it is, but I do have my ceiling fan going. All right, I just got to carry on. Dizzy, blood pressure. Blood pressure is probably, my blood pressure is always low. You know, with my heart failure, I have what they call a low ejection fraction rate. Is what I have. I have a low ejection fraction rate. And I have a pacemaker defibrillator combo, and I take some drugs to help with it, and it kind of does stabilize it. But it is what it is, right? I do. I have a COPD because not only do I have asthma, but I have a lung disease called sarcoidosis. I know you're in the medical field, so I don't know if you've ever heard of that or not, but I have sarcoidosis. I've had it for, how do I know now? Let me calculate, about 30 years. And luckily for me, the last 25 years, let's say, it's been dormant. So I have reduced lung function, but the real kicker is I have these large masses that move around, granulomeals. Some of them move around in my lungs. And I had a great doctor for years and years named Dr. Hardy in Fayetteville, Arkansas, who treated me, got me stable, got me in good shape as I was. But it became a little bit of a medical mystery for him. So, is that lumps and inflammation as parts of your body? Just my lungs. So the only part, okay, I'll tell you this much. It's in my lungs and it was on my gallbladder. So, but at this point in time, I don't have the lumps anywhere but in my lungs. Crap. But what they're worried about, if it ever starts to become active again, it move into my heart. That's the one thing we don't want it to do. Backlash is in the house. Everybody say hello to Backlash. It takes the paintbrush all over your glasses. I know, man. I tell you what, and I'm not good at any of this stuff, but I'm trying. Maybe I could use these scissors. I need a pair of tweezers. That didn't work. I'll just let that sit there for a second and see if I can do a better job. But everybody say hello to Backlash. I heard lungs make the heartbeat. Hello, hello. Hey, Backlash. What you painting, working on? I'm building a ship, man. I'm trying to become a master shipbuilder. I'm building a pirate ship. Or at least I'm trying. I'm building a, I'll show you the picture real quick, Backlash. I'm trying to build this model. Thank you all for the thumbs up, by the way. Yeah, what we have found is they put me on inhalers off and on. And what I have found is they don't help for me. So I do use an emergency rescue inhaler, and those work. There's times that I'm so short of breath, out of breath, that I have to use a rescue inhaler. So yes. But for the most part, the maintenance inhalers doesn't seem to do me a lot of good. Backlash says, uh-oh, got to go back to work. He saw that some of us was working, and he says, cool, thank you. So that's what I'm working on, Backlash. We appreciate your coming in and checking us out. I hope your work is good today, if you know what I mean. So yes, I use an emergency rescue inhaler, but the maintenance things doesn't seem to really do me any good. Part of it is because of this. I know my triggers. I know what triggers my shortness of breath, my problems, and I work very hard at avoiding triggers. I pace myself athletically. My mom had rods and screws in her back. Damn. Device implanted in her back that numbed her nerve endings for pain. She had COPD and emphysema, several surgeries. Damn. Yeah, I've had a lot of surgeries myself. I've had, God, I can't tell you how many procedures. I know there's a difference between procedures and surgeries. I've had a lot of surgeries, and I've had more procedures than most people could count. I've had so many lung biopsies that it's unbelievable. But my lung doctor was smart. I like him. He said, look, I don't know how to help you anymore with your lungs. Said, it's beyond my grasp, but we want to send you to the Mayo Clinic. And because he's like, they're the only ones that might be able to help you. And I'm like, well, let me think about it. So we talked to the Mayo Clinic a little bit. And I didn't get a good vibe. So I didn't go, but I got a different lung doctor here closer. And he's from Pakistan, great guy, really like him. And he's like, look, you're screwed. There's nothing that can be done. So I agree, there's no reason to go to the Mayo Clinic and waste all that money and time because they're going to tell you what I'm going to tell you. and what your other doctor told you, there's really nothing we can do but monitor you. So I go to a lung duct specialist twice a year. We take x-rays about once a year to see how things are shaping up and moving. And that's pretty much it. Right now, I'm in the dormant stage. So they're not growing at the moment. They haven't grown in a couple of years. The last time they grew was probably 7 or 8 years ago. So they're stable. So right now, I don't worry too much about it. I couldn't wear perfume around her. It would trigger. Yes, exactly. And yeah, I don't like to be around chemicals anymore. But you know, I worked in a chemistry lab. I taught, but I also managed the lab, and I did a lot of chemical exercises and experiments. So I was around chemicals like you couldn't believe. And in my consulting business, I did it also. So I don't like being around the chemicals myself. I don't like going down the soap aisle at Walmart. It's not my favorite place to go. The other thing for me is the cold air. That's why during the winter months, I wind up staying indoors a lot because the cold air is so bad for my lungs. It causes them to constrict. I know a lot of people that have COPD can't handle the humidity and the heat, but I'm the opposite. For some reason, my body doesn't mind the humidity and the heat. So I do good in warm weather, even if it's humid. Cold weather, I suffer in, like what we have every winter. So that's why we're hoping to, and I know Florida, Alabama is not always warm, but it's warmer year round than here. We have more warm days down south. Logically, you know what I mean? So, because I like to be outdoors and I could lose more weight and I feel like I could be healthier if I was in an environment that allowed me to get exercise and be out and about more. So that's the big reason I want to move somewhere else, because I hope this is right. Yeah. And since I like to be outdoors fishing so much, and I tell people all the time, and you know, and I'm not saying I'm a advocate for the disabled, but I'm no longer ashamed of my disability, mental disability, or physical disability. They are what they are. I can't do anything about it but do what I can. So I know that I am no longer as smart as I used to be. And for somebody like me, that's extremely stressful. Because I used to be a smart person. I used to love to, and I still love to learn and study. But I forget things, you know, from my coma. This is out of my coma. I have cognitive issues and I know it. My vocabulary skills have gone down. My reading skills have gone down. My thought processes has gone down. And I know that. I don't like it, that I'm not very smart anymore, but it is what it is. So as much as we hate being disabled, right? When you're in a medically induced coma, you don't mind me asking a story? Oh yeah, I'll tell you. I did a whole video on it in Alexandria. Just what I would, man, I'm gonna go blind. I can't figure out what I need to do here. Alexandria, I do have a video on it, my YouTube channel, called Coma. My coma. You can check out the long video sometime when you get time. And it goes into the whole entire story of my coma and what I went through. And I know from talking to people in the medical field, they've all found my story of what happened to me in the coma very, very interesting. So I know you might benefit from hearing my story of what happened to me in the coma. But no, I was not in a medically induced coma. I went into a coma. So what happened was, and I think it's about 7 years now. At the time, I didn't know it. Obviously, I was having heart failure. I was in lung failure, and I was in kidney failure all at the same time. So my blood was contaminated because I have a condition called porphyria tarda cantarda, which is like the what they call the vampire disease, where you don't process vitamin D correctly. So over the years, my blood had not processed and cleaned correctly, which is part of the problem, not all of it. And then one day, and to be honest, my brain's a little. Lorelei knows the whole story in the details, but here's what I remember. I was in that process of getting in between my first pacemaker and second pacemaker. The first one they put in didn't work. It wasn't adequate. So they had to go in and put a second pacemaker in, a 3-lead. So in between those times, I don't know. But anyway, what happened was I woke up one day. Lorelei went to work, as always. I went out on the couch to watch TV and hang out with the dogs because we just had our new dog. Our dog was about 8 years ago. Daisy and Lily, I think Daisy, we just got Daisy a couple of months before this. Daisy, our little black dog, was literally just an infant puppy. So I went out and I was sitting on the couch because I wasn't feeling good with the dog. And then I woke up 10 months later. That's all I know. I passed out. And never woke up. So I passed out. And Lorelei back then, because she knew I was not feeling well, had a lot of health issues, she was always calling me about every hour on the hour or texting me to make sure that I was all right. So apparently she did that and I didn't answer. I didn't answer. And I didn't answer. No, I was on my second pacemaker. I'm sorry. So she got stressed and worried, came home. I got to remember, this is about 2 years of Lorelei being in America. She came home and found me unconscious in the house, called our local friend who was a police officer who lived close. He came over, they called the ambulance, all of that stuff. Rushed to the hospital, I guess. And then, as they kind of say, the rest is history. So that's what happened in reference to being in, or how I got into the coma. Now, I was only in the coma for 10 days. But for me, it was more like a year, 10 months to a year, being in the coma, all right? So, and I go into great details, and I'm not going to go into great details right now because it makes me sad. But summary was, while I was in my coma, from my side, and there's two different perspectives. Lorelei's perspective, who the doctors kept telling her, you know, your husband's dying, he's going to die, there's nothing we can do, blah, 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 petrifying this poor girl who's only been in America 2 years. You know, yep, your husband's dead. He's going to die. There's nothing we do. We had family members, you know, wanting to take money from Lorelai, trying to get her to give them money while I was in the coma, you know, and all of this shit. So it was a horrible, horrible ordeal for Lorelai and of course for me. But simply put, and I'll let you watch that video. And I would encourage you to share the video with anybody you want who's interested in medical miracles or whatever you want to call it. Now, my coma was a lot different than a lot of people's. A lot of people are going to tell you when they go into comas, they saw heaven, they saw family members, they saw this, they saw that. You know, God came and spoke to them. No, not my story. That's not my story. I need to, I think part of the problem is my paint rag is too close to my head. So, I need to quit painting for a few minutes. All right, so, in the coma, I woke up, and I'll give you a synopsis of it, Alexandria. Everybody who's listening, thank you all for being here, by the way. 19 thumbs up already tonight, thank y'all. Sorry if I've missed anybody. In the coma, what happened to me was this. I woke up, I thought I was dead. I woke up in Bangladesh, India, is where I woke up. And I was dead. And I'm going to try to summarize this because remember, it took me 10 months. So I woke up in Bangladesh, India. My body had been sold to a body farm. I was in a morgue, a round morgue, 10 stories high, with a center table in. So there's a lot of graphic details. This is not a warm and fuzzy coma story. It's a horrifying coma story. If you have a weak stomach or constitution, you're not going to want to hear what happened to me in my coma. So to sum it up, I was in India, I was in Mexico as a dead body, fighting for my right to live. I wound up in Texas and then back into the medical facility where I came out of the coma in. Now, the things that happened to me, one was I was murdered twice. They decided that no, I was dead, or I was bought. Turn that off. I was bought as a dead body. So therefore I had no human rights because I wasn't alive, and to make sure of that, they was going to kill me. And they did. They tried to kill me twice. So I was murdered twice in my dream. I saw horrible things. I was beaten, tortured, abused, made to eat human shit, subject to psychological torture, you name it, it happened. So that's what I mean. I really encourage you to go watch the whole video, the hour-long video, or maybe even the synopsis. I did do a remake of it where I tried to cut out all the places where I paused because it's a stressful story to tell. But I was basically traveled the world involuntarily, had to fight for my right to survive, to be a human and to live, was beaten and tortured routinely. And towards the end of it all, when I was out of the coma, technically, I did not know what reality was. It took me, to be honest, probably another week or so to start understanding or to coming to terms with what reality was and was not. And I truly believe, Lorelai kind of jokes at this, but I truly believed at one point in time Lorelai was an alien, not an illegal alien, but a space alien. And, you know, I even tried to hire somebody to investigate how, it was bad. It was bad. It was horribly bad. And but I still have PTSD from it. People try to, counselors would try to tell me, oh, it was all in your head. And I'm not going to be too vulgar, but I would have to tell them, F you. It wasn't in my head. I lived it. I experienced every tiny bit of the humiliation, the torture, the abuse, every bit of it. I lived it. It's not made up. It's not in my effing head, you freaking morons. That's an awful experience. I wonder what makes us hallucinate in a coma. We do not sleep when we're in coma, and I agree. We are sleep deprived and hallucinating. It would be a very dramatic experience, so much to recover from. Yeah, and look, I recognize it was a hallucination. I know physically, I was not in Bangladesh, India. I was not in Mexico. I was not in Texas. I was not in I was in Arkansas, but so I recognize that it was a hallucination. But the physical damage done to me, the psychological torture, the abuse was all there, all real. I remember it I'd like to write a book about it. I don't know if anybody would ever read it. But if I was good at writing a book, I would like to write a story about the coma that Lorelei and I went through. Well, I did. And the other thing you got to realize, I physically experienced it. Because all the things that they did to me while I was in the coma were part of the torture, as I saw as torture. So, you know what I mean? Yeah, would love to read the book. I will watch your full video. All right, thank you. That will help you understand the details. I'd like to write a book about it someday. I wish I knew how to write a book. It wouldn't be a very long book, but I would really like to write the book. Because we've learned a lot from it. My wife learned a lot from it. I've learned a lot from it. Lorelei suffered horribly through it, my wife. She's only been in America a couple of days, and that's part of the story. The story's just not my coma. The story is a bigger picture of her marrying a guy, 2 years in. He's on death's door. The doctor says there's no hope. Your husband's dying. My family is lurking around hoping to get some money from my death because they're pissed because they think Lorelei stole their inheritance, even though they were never going to get an inheritance. And then her having, she didn't have to, but she stayed at the hospital 24/7 as much as she could. You both suffered through the entire thing? We did. Because they told her regularly, your husband's going to die. And look, and there's a bigger component to this too. And she fought for me. And this is something I would say in the book and in my video, I think it's extremely important people to have an advocate. You need to have a medical advocate if you're old like me or sickly. If you have health issues, everybody who's listening, you need to go out there and get you an advocate for when you go to the doctor and the hospitals. Somebody who can speak for you. Lorelei did. She said, no, this is not acceptable. If you can't do it, transfer him somewhere else. They gave me multiple blood transfusions and all kinds of procedures. They put kidney stents in. They worked on my heart. So they did everything to me possible. And medical bill was like $5 million. So it was like a $5 million coma. But I don't know how much it was, but I don't know. It was a lot. But she suffered right along with that. And then, of course, not only during the coma, but when I came out of the coma, I was still extremely confused and was not trusting anybody. Because what you have to understand is, when I came out of the coma, I was one pissed off effer. I mean, I was mad as hell because I'd been beaten, tortured, attempted murder twice. I'm ready to kill anybody. I mean, bring it on, people. Let's go. I seen a person die in front of me. I've seen a split open. I've seen blood and guts. I mean, human shit everywhere. I've seen it all. Been there, done that in this coma, right? And so I was not very trusting. And part of the downfall, and this is my fault, and it took me several years to get over this. It took me several years ago to quit blaming Lorelei for letting me live. because I was, and I'm over that now, but it did. It took me a couple of years where I was mad at Lorelai for not letting me die, because if I would have died on day one, then I would have never suffered the next 10 days. You know what I mean? The next 20 days, the next 30 days, going to rehab, being screwed up in the head now, where I'm not as smart as I used to be. And I know it. Look, I know my brain damage is there. There's no question. I don't like it. My body is beat up. I'm worse than I was. Hey. But you're okay now. You took antibiotics and you're doing better. So just go back to sleep. So, my dog. So it took me quite a while, and this would be part of the story of that, was I had to get to that point where I no longer blamed her for allowing me to be alive, because I didn't want to be alive. I wouldn't want anybody to go through what I did. And it was brutal, and we left rehab way early because I didn't like the drugs they were giving me. Didn't make sense to me. It was causing me to be sicker. I checked out of rehab after day one and said, no, I'll just go home. It was a long journey doing physical rehab to be able to walk again on my own in the house, but I did it. I made it. But Lorelai had to suffer right along with that. She had to deal with the concerns now that her husband could die at any time, blah, blah, blah. The psychological bullshit, the fact that we had really good friends that we trusted. Really good friends that we thought would always have our back, that never bothered to call her and ask her anything. That never bothered to offer to help her with a damn thing in America. Being in America for 2 years, my family just wanted my money. So they weren't any help. Our friends basically said, oh, well, if he's dying, I don't really give a shit what this Filipino girl happens to her. We did have a couple of other friends that stepped up to the plate and helped Lorelai out the best they could. We had that. We had one niece who tried to be there for Lorelai. She lived out of state. So it was a very traumatizing event for her. And it's hard for me sometimes to remember that. So I try to remember that. Was it traumatizing for me? Oh, hell yeah. Was it traumatizing for Lorelai? Absolutely, just in a different way. And somehow I need to put this into a book. Maybe I need to find an internet program that will allow me to write a book. Here, type here. Here, let us help you. Some VI stuff or whatever. But I like to write it out in a book. But in the beginning, the video I did is all about what happened in the coma. Now, 8 years removed, the story's much bigger. The story is now about Lorelai, a Filipina, coming over here, being here 2 years, finding out that her husband has heart failure, having to go through the pacemakers, the fact that I was on the verge of dying, I had bad medical advice, rushed into emergency surgery for the first defibrillator, then had to go back for the second defibrillator. I died on the table, or they had to revive me on the table a couple of times. So going through that, to going into the coma, right? And then surviving the coma part, and then coming out of the end of the coma 2 years later, or 3 years later, however long it was, I don't remember, before I decided that I had to stop hating Lorelai for keeping me alive, because I resented her keeping me alive. Because she proudly, and I get it, was happy that she kept me alive, but I was not. I was not a happy camper that I was alive, because I went through that torture and the abuse. I didn't want to do it. But I get why she did it, and now I'm okay with it. I have no problems now. But for 2 to 3 years, I really had issues with it, and I didn't treat her so well, because I resented the fact that she kept me alive, and I had to suffer that torture for those 10 months. I know it was 10 calendar days, but for me, the time period of all of the abuse, the murders, everything was over about 10 months. And so that's a long time to be tortured. It really is. So that's kind of the story in a nutshell. But that's the bigger story. Young Filipina coming to marry her husband. Within 2 years of her being in America, he's in a coma, death's door, bleak as hell. What am I going to do? To, gee, now my husband hates me because I kept him alive, plus the coma story. So it is quite interesting and challenging of a story. And I wish people would go watch the video, and I wish I was a skilled enough writer to write this story somehow. And I need to work on that. I do. Maybe it'd be good therapeutically for me. I went to a PTSD specialist after this, and after the coma, they didn't help. What I found was it pissed me off more than anything to go to counseling, because the counselors always wanted to talk about it. They always, and their big answer was, you need to do deep breathing exercises. You need to do yoga. You need to do distraction shit, and I'm like, and I finally got to the point through therapy, psychological therapy, where I just said, the best thing I need to do is quit thinking and talking about the shit that happened to me. If I quit talking about it so much every week, 2 times a week with you freaking people, maybe it'd be better. Quit telling me to go home and do deep breathing exercises. Take your deep breathing exercises and shove them up your ass. I don't want your damn deep breathing exercises. So it didn't help. The thing this is weird, and I still would like to do this. What I asked the therapist to do was, I would really like to go see where I was during the coma. Meaning, I would like to go see where my bed was, where I laid for those 10 months in the hospital. It would help me, and I even think about this today. And I told my counselors at the time, I would really like to go to the ICU and check it out. I want to go there and see where the hell I was. And they went, oh, that'd be a bad idea. And I'm like, why? I said, I still don't know where the hell I'm at. So I was hoping it would anchor me. It might give me, because at one point in time, I know after I got out of the coma, when I was starting to coming out of this, it took 3 or 4 days to start to clear my head up a tiny bit. I thought I was in the morgue because that's where I was. I wound up in the morgue with other dead bodies, back in the goddamn morgue. I was in the morgue in day 1 and morgue at the end. And apparently I was awake at this time. And luckily, what I remember happening is one of the IC nurses, and Lorelei tells me this, because I was throwing such of a bitch fit about being damn in the morgue and being dead, and I'm sick of this, that they kept telling me, no, you're okay, you're awake, it's fine, you've been in a coma, blah, blah, blah. And I kept basically telling them, no, you're lying to my happy ass. I'm in a coma. I'm dead. I'm in the freaking morgue at the hospital. Look around. So luckily, one of the IC nurses and Lorelei got the bright idea of turning my bed around so that I could look out the window. And that helped. I looked and turned, and I could see the outside. I could see the sky, the trees, and the clouds moving by. Hadn't seen them in months. So at that point, it was kind of weird. I started going, oh, maybe I'm not dead. Maybe I'm not in a morgue. Because look, there's people over there walking on the path in the hospital. There's trees blowing in the wind over there. So turning my bed around so that I could see reality was helpful. It really was. But it was not a pleasant experience at all by any means. So, but I don't know. I wish I knew how to write a book because I would really like the story. I tried to write it in the beginning, and I'm glad I didn't write the book in the beginning because now I realize the story is much bigger than the 10 days I spent in a coma. It's much bigger than that. It's much more. The coma, the 10 days, the 10 months was not good. But there's lessons to be learned in the beginning about a young woman being here 2 years in the country, how to fight for your husband, how to be an advocate, the fear that they have to go through, thinking, oh crap, what am I going to do now? Now look, people tease Lorelai, or my family calls Lorelai a gold digger, and we don't have anything to do with them anymore because they suck. You want to call my wife a gold digger, I'll put my foot up your ass. So I disassociate it with my family because they think she's a gold digger. If my wife really wanted my money, back then when I was in a coma, I had a gigantic life insurance policy still in effect from my teaching days. All she had to do is let me die. That woman would have never had to worry about a money again in her life. She could have took the money, the house, the cars that we had, all paid for, the life insurance policy, cashed out in America, went back to the Philippines and lived like a freaking queen in the Philippines. But she didn't do that. She fought for me to live. So there's a story in that. And I know a lot of American women don't like the fact that we talk how great our Filipino wives are here on this channel. I know I've been criticized from an American who's no longer involved in our channel, thank God, because we talk about Filipino women versus American women. And I just don't see, I see where my wife, who's Filipino, whether that has anything to do with that, went way above and beyond. She just did. She kicked butt. So here I am. I need to write a book. Does anybody know how to write a book? So I need to do that. So there's more. In the beginning, and I, it's funny because I have a lot of religious friends, and I'm not super religious. But in the beginning, I had all these friends coming out of the calling me, and all these people that I know, they're not friends. People that I know going, oh, well, did you see God? Did you do this? How was you? I'm like, what in the hell do you mean? How in the hell was my coma? No, I didn't see God. I saw the fucking devil, you morons. So, no, I was beaten and tortured. No, I'm not coming to your church and talking about the prophecy of God, how God came and touched my hand in this coma through a shiny little white light. That isn't what happened, people. So I'm sorry I'm getting excited. I'm getting, fired up. But I thought it was so funny how many people automatically went, oh, did God touch your hand? Did you see the bright light? Yeah, I saw some bright lights when they tried to kill me. Sure did. Saw it twice. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just kooky and crazy, right? But that is what happened. It's absolutely what happened. It's the honest to God truth. And I wish it upon nobody. I'll tell you that. I wish it upon nobody. So I get excited about the coma thing, if you didn't figure that out. It still haunts me today. It's a major part of Lorelai's and I's life. It affected us financially, socially. We've lost friends, which is okay, because if a person can't stick through you or with you through the worst of times, then they're not worth being your friend in the first place. That is something that Lorelai and I learned as a lesson together. And there are a lot of lessons to be learned in this. One, I learned without question that I can trust Lorelai's judgment. I know Lorelai has my back. I know my Filipino wife doesn't just want my money, but she actually likes me for me, which might be a shock to some of you people. But it's the honest to God truth. Dennis, hello. Let me read what Dennis. Hello all, super back. That's us. Hi, to yes, to SS, Jack, and Vincent, the no longers here. We're going to put them in the no longer club. So, how are you, Dennis? I don't know if you've been hearing my rant and raving, but Alexandria, our friend there, who's in the medical field, was talking to me about my coma. So I got a little excited there for a few minutes, And yes, I referenced the fact that SS, who didn't like us talking about Filipino women on this channel, even though it's a Filipino channel. So, but thank you for coming in, Dennis. I think, and Dennis, I'm not asking, and don't do it now, Dennis, or anything like that. But Lorelai is working on to make sure that our PayPal thing is set up correctly and or to start a new one. So so we are working on that, just so you know, when we do the fundraising for the school stuff, starting late January, early February. But don't do anything now, Dennis. It's not important. But we have a lot of good people in and out of here, Dennis. Even a lot of people in and out tonight. I'm working on my model ship again, but I'm about done playing with it for the day. I just got to put a couple pieces together. So yeah, it can be crazy. Kind of goes back to that whole point about if people are criticizing you. Alexandra is beautiful, yes. I give for that. Specialized giving, left-handed pencils. Nice. Left-handed pencils are good. Because I guess you know I'm left-handed, right, Dennis? I'm left-handed, by the way. But Lorelai's getting, and my point about that, Dennis, was because I know that you asked or something. Lorelai mentioned today that she was working on it. But we are, we got our friends in the Philippines coming up with a school supply list. Alexandra is beautiful. She's in the medical field also. Let me just do it this way. But does anybody know of any book writing software packages that somebody could use? Because I really would like to put pen to paper, so to speak, about Lorelai and I's story. I just need help doing it. But Dennis, I did some work on Dr. Ken Berry today. So I am working on that. I saw a video Oh, that's funny. That's funny, asking for, it's kind of like those videos that I think are funny about when a husband sends his wife in to go get winter air in their tire or to ask them to get oil for the horn. You've seen those videos on YouTube where these guys are, you know, tricking their wives, going in and asking for weird crap for a car. So, winter air, you know. And there's another one out there that I think is really funny. Is I think that's warped. I'm gonna have to take this one here soon, and I'm gonna heat it up with a hair dryer and lay it flat and flatten that, because I don't think that's supposed to be that way. Winter air is hilarious. But I like the one that the girl goes in or tells her, or maybe it's the daughter, tells dad that she was all proud crap. Because she took the car in or something and got the oil changed in it. And she went in and had them put winter air in the car. She punked her dad, right? Telling her that, and they only charged me $50 a tire to put winter air in her car tires. So I like that one because he is pissed. What? What company did that? What, who sold you winter air for 50? I think that one's funny because he is fired up. If I'm in second place in a race, you pass me. If I'm in second place, in a race and you pass me, what position are you in? I'm trying to find the trick here, Dennis, because the obvious answer is first. But I got a feeling that's not the answer. The lead position, first position, the front position. If I'm in second place in a race and you pass me, well, I would be in third place right before I pass you. And then once I pass you, I'm in the lead position. But I got a feeling that's not the right answer. Ah, you're right. You're right. You're right. Second place. You're right. Because I'm taking your place, not taking the leader's spot, right? So yeah, you're right. I like those riddles and puzzles. You're right. Because all I did was put you in third place. Most say first, yeah. Well, at least I'm above you. That's the important thing. I'm higher up on the food chain than you are when it comes to the race. Oh, man. So many things to do this year, Dennis. So many things I'd like to complete and accomplish in life. What are we going to do? We're going to do. Lorelai's fired up about a couple people on YouTube is irritated at Lorelai. I can't say any names because I don't want to make a big deal, but she thinks they're scammers and users from the Philippines. So she was telling me the other day when she was doing a live stream that the person came around or something, and no, I can't do that one. But she's not real happy with one of the persons because they think they were just coming to her live stream to try to solicit subscribers and donations on her live stream. So she was mad about it the other night. Well, it's a lot of initials. It's a person from the Philippines, a female. That should help you narrow it down right there. But she told me the other day, she's like, I can't believe that, blah, 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 blah. I think all she's doing is coming to my live stream because she keeps mentioning, her own live stream and their fundraising efforts or the fundraising that somebody else has been giving them on my live streams. Why are they doing that? And I'm like, Lorelai, I don't know. You know, if a female from the Philippines that we all know is coming to your channel, and if they say hi, how are you? That's great. If they're part of the conversation, that's great. I get it. But if you're mad because they've come on and said, "Hey, I'm live streaming, and oh, by the way, we raised money, we're collecting money for this," then I don't blame you for being upset. I wasn't there. I told her, so I don't know exactly what happened, but I just watched some of the video about Tacoma. I just can't imagine what you both went through. Yeah, I know it's a long video. It's over an hour long, but I appreciate you watching it when you get time. I know it took me a long time to get it all out because the emotional crap that my brain was working at the time. Now I could probably do it a lot faster, but it's not emotional as it was back when I made that video. I made that video early on. One of the first videos we did on this YouTube channel was that video. So that was the first time discussing it. And I thought to myself, it'd be better for me to try to vent and get it out. And that's why I made it. And I thought it might help people too, but it was really more of a therapeutic thing for me to get that out of my brain or my whatever, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I need to see if there's any software. Maybe there's a book writing software out there that I can buy. I don't know. Alexandria says, gonna watch the rest later. Thank you. We appreciate that. And we appreciate Dennis said hi to you, by the way, anyway, Alexandria. He always enjoys when you come to the live streams. I'm going to head to bed. 5 a.m. come fast. Yes. Well, I'm happy to share it. And all I would encourage you to do is share it, especially with people in the medical field. Because I've had my doctors have watched it. I told them about it. And I said, look, I know you're busy. Good night to you, Alexandria. I know that you're busy as a doctor, but if you really want to understand, and my pulmonologist was there during part of it. He was there. He was at that hospital. And they called me a miracle. Lorelai jokes and says they called me the miracle boy because I survived, didn't die. I survived. But I told my lung doctor, him and I had he's from Pakistan, really nice guy, I like him. Him and I talked about it afterwards. He's like, I really like to understand what happened. He's the only doctor that has said, I would really like to understand what happened in your coma. I've had other doctors not really interested in what happened inside the coma, but the medical stuff. And so I shared with him the video and I said, just watch that. That's what happened to me. And I talked to him a few months later and he's like, I watched your video. I said, I am so glad that I watched your video because now I know that not everybody sees a white, bright light with a hand coming down to bring them to heaven. And not that I'm opposed to that, but he said it made him a better doctor, made him more aware of what his patients go through when they're in a coma. So I thought that was a good thing. But yeah, so Dennis said goodnight to you, Alexandria. So, but yeah, so Lorelai, when she did her live stream of the night, Dennis, she was a little fired up. She woke me up. Oh, I can't believe that. I think all she wants is to brag about this stuff that she's doing in the Philippines in hopes that either we will give them money or that people like Dennis or others or everybody else will feel bad for her and give her money. And I'm like, Lorelai, but that happens every day. You have every person from every walk in life hoping to get free money. Some of it's true, some of it's not. What? So you have to ask her sometime, Dennis, what she means. And you know the person. You've seen it on our channel a lot. And you've made mention to her many, 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 many times. And you know, but I'll be careful about that. Maybe I'll message you. I'll send you the name message-wise later on. But all right, my friends, it's 10:30 here. It's time for a meeting. Oh, bye. Yeah, bye, everybody. Yes, Dennis, we appreciate. Yes, you're a smart guy. All right, Dennis, you got it figured out. We appreciate it, everybody. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to get off of here. It's 10:30. Time to go to bed. And we appreciate everybody, and we will see you guys tomorrow. Be on the lookout for some cool stuff coming up with our channel. So, Alexander, everybody still watching in the background, we appreciate you. Thank you for the 20 thumbs ups, 21 thumbs ups. Take care, and see you soon.